Hi there, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states, the top independent agent in the United States. And I'm proud of that because, in my opinion, we do it the right way. We only sell contractual guarantees, hence my shirt. I love contractual guarantees. You own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. The purpose of this video is why you should consider using my company, the Annuity Man. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of background about who I am, about the company, how it started, kind of our mission statement, and how that all came about. And maybe that's important to you. I hope it is, because when you're looking to put money into an annuity strategy, which is a contract, which is a transfer risk, that's a big commitment. And you're not going to meet with us at the kitchen table. You're not going to have dinner with me. I'm not going to have a bad chicken dinner seminar or expensive steak dinner seminar. So, I have a big company. I have a lot of people that work for me. So your question is, why us? Why not the person down the street? That's a really good question. So let me go through kind of the background of who I am, which kind of dovetails into why I'm doing what I'm doing. I grew up in North Carolina. Both of my parents were college basketball coaches, and so I didn't really have a choice. I played college basketball. I played at the University of Central Florida, still own their free throw percentage record for the season. So I was one of those guys. I could really shoot the basketball. Hey, when your mom and your dad are coaches, you don't really have a choice. But I grew up with not a lot of money. I mean, back then coaches didn't make a lot of money, and then they both retired and ended up being elementary school teachers, retired in the North Carolina school system. But I was always wondering why some people had money, some people didn't have money. And I remember in college on road trips, I'd buy Wall Street journals, and the team would make fun of me because I'm trying to figure out why we didn't have money. Everyone else had money. It seemed like everyone else had money. And so, long story short, when I came out of the University of Central Florida, one of the only job offers I had, because I had one of the stay eligible degrees, playing basketball, traveling all over the place, etc., was with a brokerage firm. And, I thought it was, it sounded good to me. I didn't have any other job offers. And they said to me, you can make as much as you want to make. Your own commission. And so just to kind of get to the finish line of that, I worked with Dean Witter, Payne Weber, Morgan Stanley, and Union Bank of Switzerland before I became the Annuity Man. But the bottom line was I was on that side of the ledger for a long, long time. And so I learned a lot. Kudos to everyone who taught me things that were brokers beside me, the older guys, etc. But when I was at UBS, I read a story about, it was an American Demographics magazine, and it said that in the year 20-something, there would be 10,000 or 14,000 people turning 65 every single day, and to be a demographic tidal wave. And the person mentioned that annuities would be something that you should look at. So I was like, well, that makes sense. And I kind of run my course at Union Bank of Switzerland, and just full transparency. I'm not a perfect person. I'm a 19-year sober, at the time of this taping, drug addict and alcoholic from those times on Wall Street. And I did work on Wall Street. So I own that because that's who I am. So I am sober, 19 years. I've been married for 37 years to my lovely wife, Christine. I'm a grandfather. I have two daughters, 29 and 27. So I'm you. I'm the same guy. Okay, and I never dreamed that this would get this big. So I started selling annuities for the contractual guarantees because contractual guarantees made sense to me. And I think the reason I gravitated toward that is when you grow up poor, you don't want to lose money. And money, every little dime is important to you. I always say there's two types of advisors. There's advisors that are rich, grew up rich, and there's advisors who grew up poor. Nothing against people who grew up rich. I'm envious. But when you grow up poor, you advise differently. And I think that's the reason I feel very, very comfortable in the annuity space, the fixed annuity space, only selling the contractual guarantees of the policy. I want to make sure you never lose a penny. I want to make sure every single client of mine never loses a penny. And we've sold billions of dollars of annuities. So, I'm just humbled at this point. But let me tell you the story. So initially, the company that I created was called Strategic Annuity Solutions. And I had this hybrid car, and I wrapped it with the logo. And I traveled all around, put like 300,000 miles on that car. And I'd come see you, blah, blah, blah. And everything was going fine. And then my daughter ordered a bed. And I said, okay, I'll help you move it upstairs. And I moved it upstairs, and I got 2 herniated discs in my back. It totally knocked me out. So I'm laying on the ground. I have to make a living for my family. Okay, this was a long time ago. And so I said, I've got to sell annuities direct. That's before, no one had ever sold them direct before. Everything was sold face to face. So I called all the carriers. I said, I can't do it anymore because of my back. I've got to sell it direct. Half of the carriers said, no way, we're not going to do that. The other half said, yeah, we'll give you a shot if you get us that FedEx the next day. And that's how it all started. That's literally how it all started. Things kind of took off in 2019 when I met one of the top YouTube producers in the country at an event he was speaking at. Next thing you know, I'm in front of a camera doing YouTube videos, just like what you're watching. And I think the important part is what you see is what you get. I mean, so my grandfather always told me, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So that's in essence our business model, okay? So things started growing, and so we had to choose a place to put the company and grow, and we chose Las Vegas, Nevada. And the reason we chose that is we wanted to be open for everybody on both sides, both Pacific and Eastern time. So, we're open from 8:30 to 8:30 Eastern time, Monday through Friday, which is 5:30 to 5:30 Pacific time, Monday through Friday. We're also open Saturday from 9 to 5. So we're open 64 hours a week to fit around your schedule. Instead of you having to fit around our schedule, we're fitting around your schedule. And that's growing. And I think it's unique that we're in Vegas. I love Vegas. I've been married 37 years, so I'm happy with my wife. Hope she's happy with me. I don't drink, and I don't do drugs anymore, and I don't gamble. So I'm all about no risk. So I think it's kind of funny that we're in Las Vegas, which is risk city, and we do no risk. It's kind of worked out cool. And so we have a really big company. I mean, I hate to tell you, even it's big. There's lots of people that work for me. But what I did is I made a decision that everybody's going to be licensed in all 50 states, just like me, but nobody's going to be on commission. I did not want anybody being influenced on a recommendation based upon what they would make. Their own salary, and the team as a whole gets bonused on customer satisfaction, not on premium raise, not on any of that. It's a completely different sales model. It's not ABC always be closing. It's really ABC always be creative. And creative meaning putting together the processes that the customer would benefit from. Everything that we've built on the site, and we're looking back at the website now, theannuityman.com, and we're always trying to improve it, okay? Number one, you can run quotes 24/7, 365. You can get live MIGA quotes 24/7, 365. I've written 7 books on annuities. The first one was called The Annuity Stanifesto that you can still buy on Amazon. The other 6 are owner's manuals on the 6 products. That would be MIGAs, SPIAs, DIAs, QLACs, income riders, and indexed annuities. You can download those for free. My YouTube channel, which is what you're on right now, we have unbelievable playlists, thousands of videos, and until I'm not breathing, I'm going to try to do 400 to 500 videos a year from here on in so that we can educate the public. I call what I do edutainment. It's entertainment and education. Stan the Annuity Man is this figure I become, this person I become that's happy. I am a happy person. I'm very blessed, but I'm proud of what we built, and I oversee everything, and I look at every case. I have a great team around me that's in place, and we're always thinking about how can we make it better. This year, which is the time of this taping, just look at the date, but right now in 2026, I'm proud to announce that we will be the first in the country to offer a Spanish-speaking division of the Annuity Man. That will not be our last language. We are going to offer this to all demographics, and a lot of the demographics that's been ignored by the investment community in Wall Street. So, I'm really looking forward to letting that happen and grow. And so that's going to be happening at the Annuity Man this year. In addition to the videos, in addition to a lot of other things that we're doing, we do a monthly live event to where you can see me live on YouTube and ask questions real time, and then I'm talking about products, etc. So everything is involving information that you can consume on your terms, on your time frame, so you can get educated so that you can make a good decision without pressure, without any high pressure selling, and make it on the contractual guarantees. I wear this shirt, through airports, and people stop me, what does that mean? And I explain to them, we sell contractual guarantees. We sell lifetime income products. We sell principal protection products, legacy products, long-term care products. The acronym is PIL, Principal Protection, Income for Life, Legacy, and Long-Term Care. We only ask 2 questions. We keep it really, really simple. What do you want the money to contractually do? When do you want those contractual guarantees to start. You own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. We never sell hypotheticals and theoreticals and things like that. We make it very, very simple. Annuities are very, very simple. Annuities, as an industry, is a commodity industry. There's not one that's better than the other. We do look at ratings. We have our own scoring system internally that looks at the administrative issues with the carriers, and we'll steer you away from a carrier if they can't get the paperwork through. We'll steer you away from a carrier if I determine that financially they should not, or at this point in time, they should not be on our list. I care about your money. I take a personal approach to that. And the bigger we get, the more I seem to be involved in the details of everything. I just hire better people around me. You know, I come from a basketball lineage, meaning that, you know, you find out what you can do and you do it very well, and then you put people around you that can do things well, you know, role players, where they can score, where they can do good for the team. That's our team. In essence, and this is interesting as well. You know, we've been through all of the managers and consultants and all that stuff, but they're all gone now, and I wish them the best. Our team is run by, we have 5 divisions, and each team runs themselves. There's no management. They all report directly to me, but they're all self-sufficient. And it's a very interesting business model that I'm very, very proud of. But what I'm most proud of is that my team understands that we're not perfect. My team understands that if there's a problem or an administrative issue, we run toward the bullets for you. We do not hide from any of that. We solve the problem. We back everything up. And, you know, I'm going to back you up 100% as the owner of the company. My wife and I own the company. It's a family-owned company that's run by a bunch of leaders, which is really interesting. And the people that I hired, none of them have been licensed before. In fact, people always want to work for us and they're all licensed. That disqualifies them. We hire people that can't even spell annuity, but they have a high IQ and a willingness to learn and a good moral compass. And we'll teach the rest. So they get licensed when they get with us. So nobody has been trained previous to joining the Annuity Man. And that's unique as well. We are the top direct-to-consumer site company in the United States. We're very, very proud of that. That's going to grow. That's going to continue to grow. Whether I'm here or whether I'm not here, I'm setting this up to where it's still going to be family run and it's still going to be led by a team. And they're still going to be pro-customer, and they're never going to be on commission. I mean, life's a journey, right? You know, you think you're at the brokerage firms, you're never going to leave. You think you're invincible, you drink and you do drugs, you know, you get smacked on the head, and you realize you can't do that. You realize the importance of family. You realize the importance of all of this. And you also realize the importance of you making a decision, a big one, to say, you know what, Stan, we trust you. We don't take that lightly. I mean, I take that very personally. And I'm hoping you're watching the full video because you're getting me. This is me. And what you also have to know is if I'm alive, okay? If I'm alive, and you probably need to check that if you're watching this, but if I'm alive, I'm lucky enough to be alive, and you put your foot down and you say, you know what, I need to talk to Stan, I will call you. The reason my consultants are no longer with me because they didn't like that. You know what I said? I don't care. Good people, I don't care. I'm there for you. And yes, every week I have 4 or 5 calls that they need to talk to me. For whatever reason, I'll talk to you. For us, AI means actual individuals. I mean, we're tech driven, but at the end of the day, you get us. At the end of the day, you get a human being that lives in the United States that will take your call. And if you need to speak with me, you can speak with me. The rubber meets the road here. The buck stops here. I am the buck. And you're planning for your retirement. You're planning your income floor. You're planning for chapter 2, which is about you. Boy, we'd love to be a part of that. The promise is we will never just pick up the phone and call you and try to sell you something. Never. For you to talk to us, you have to schedule a call because we respect your time. Okay? And we have the best team. I'm so proud of them. A lot of these people came from nothing. They had nothing when they joined me, but I saw something in them. And that's who we are. You know, I call us, you ever seen that Christmas movie, The Island of Lost and Misfit and Broken Toys? That's us. But we all come together for one purpose, and it's to really drown out the industry of hype and high pressure. We want to set the standard on how this should be done. And I think we are. And my commitment, as long as I'm breathing, is to do these videos, as many as I can, for as long as I can, to drown out the sales pitches that are out there and to get the annuity industry in line with what we're doing. Because my opinion, if the annuity industry joined me in this message of contractual guarantees, the industry would triple overnight. For some reason they haven't yet, But it's my mission to change that. It's my mission for the annuity word. When people say annuity, it's a good thing. Because it is a good thing. Lifetime income is a good thing. Protecting your principal is a good thing. Providing a legacy for your heirs is a good thing. Long-term care coverage is a good thing. We only sell one thing. We only do one thing. And we're very good at what we do. And we're very focused. But I wanted you to understand who I am. I'm the owner. So if you get someone at the company, I'm listening in, I'm looking over their shoulder at the case, they're conferring with me on the case, I'm involved. I hope to live a long time. I hope to do thousands of more of these videos. I hope to update you on this. But I guess in summary, give us a shot. We're not perfect. We're going to do the right thing for you, period. And if there's a mistake, we're going to fix it. We're going to run toward the bullets to fix it. I think that's all you can ask for in a consumer type world. And that's what I'm here to provide. My wife, who's the co-owner, we're very proud of what we've done. We would have never imagined this. I never started out going, I'm going to have this huge office in Las Vegas. We'll be the #1 direct consumer site on the planet. We'll sell billions of dollars worth of annuities. My wife would have gone, you're crazy and drinking again. Okay? We would have never thought it. Okay? But it happened. We're embracing it. We're doing the best we can to grow it, but we're not going to lose that personal touch. I have some fun on these videos. I yell and I scream and I do these southern voices, and that's that Stan the Annuity Man character. That's who I want to be. That's who I am. I feel like we're doing good work out here. So I encourage you to go to theannuityman.com, look around, schedule a call if you want. If you become a client, we'll take care of you. I promise you that. And I'm always available to you. I'm available to you whether you're a client or whether you're not a client. So I think that's it. I didn't have any script for this. You probably caught that, but it's from the heart. Got a big decision out there, chapter 2 of your life, which congratulations for getting there. We just hope that you consider the Annuity Man, my company, to be a part of that in that journey for you so you can live a good life. If an annuity is not the right fit for you, we're going to tell you. We have no problem doing that. And that happens a lot. After hearing your situation, we might tell you, please don't buy one, or please don't buy one right now, or please don't buy one ever. So we will do that, and my team has been instructed to do that. It's all part of telling the truth. We're going to tell you the truth. We're not looking for a sale. We're looking for a long-term client if it fits perfectly. A couple other things. Just, below me is the link to my site, theannuityman.com. Just go there, click that. It'll take you there. No one's going to call you. You just relax and enjoy that. And just remember, I have a lot of stuff for free. I've got the quote tools for free. I got the 6 owners manuals for free. All the information on the site is for free. And remember, this YouTube channel, thousands of videos. We have them all actually segmented in playlists. So if you wanted to take a product and do a deep dive, you certainly could do that as well. So once again, thanks again for listening. My name is Stan the Annuity Man. Hope you become a client. If not, that's cool. And if you need to speak with me, let us know. Take care.